Yes, 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 man. You see it right here. You see it right here. New York Liberty 2024 WNBA champions. Now, last night, as you all may know, was just a bunch of madness what I saw when I tuned into that game 5 late in the fourth quarter. I'm not going to sit here and hold you and pretend I watched the entire game. I was busy watching the Dodgers beat down the Mets. I was watching the Jets and the Steelers. Wanted to see what Russell Wilson looked like. Of course, they had Devontae Adams out there, and it didn't go well for the Jets. Rough start for the Steelers, but they picked it up and dropped 37 on the Jets, which was a season high for them in points. Russell Wilson, like I said, looked real good. But I did tune in as the Steelers start to pull away. I decided to just tune in to the WNBA finals. And of course, we know about this historic WNBA season, which, in terms of viewership, and of course, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. It would have been nice to see what Cameron Brink would have done this year had she not gotten hurt. So the rookies really took things over by storm, especially the first two that I mentioned. Of course, you had A'ja Wilson winning her third MVP. But at the end of the day, it was the Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty who made it to the championship game. And this game, I'll just say the last couple minutes and overtime from what I saw was just, and I'm looking at Twitter or X, pretty much throughout the game, and people were just saying how bad of a game it was. And when I tuned in, I couldn't disagree. I can't disagree because what I saw it just wasn't good basketball to begin with. And the officials of this game were just horrendous. But I'm not surprised. When I saw it and everything that's going on, I'm like, look, man, this is set up for the Liberty to win this game. In order for Minnesota to win this game, they're going to have to blow New York out, which I knew they weren't going to do, especially in New York. Because if they leave it in the refs' hands, we weren't, going to be shocked by what we saw. We weren't, if they leave it in the refs' hands, what's going to eventually happen. And it happened. And I'm looking at this, I'm on ESPN right now, and they got Stephen A. Smith blast Lynx coach for complaining about officials. We're about to watch that video about what she said. Might get into what Stephen A. Smith said, but she has a right to be upset, man, about what happened to her team. She has 100%. She's 100% right to be upset about that robbery that took place. They did really steal the championship from Minnesota, and that's nothing against the New York Liberty. Nothing against the Liberty, but we saw what happened. I'm trying to look. Where's team stats? Got team stats. Here we go, right here. Like I said, I didn't watch the entire game. I just wanted to see the free throws. So Minnesota only got to the line 8 times, and New York got to the line 25 times. And that last time they got to the line before OT, definitely did not deserve that free throw because Breanna Stewart was not fouled. Let me know. Let me know what y'all think about this right here, this discrepancy. Eight calls, eight trips to the line opposed to 25. What y'all think about that? What happened here? Final score right there, of course, New York 67. Minnesota 62. Minnesota, they were missing a lot of open shots too towards the end of that game. But again, let's go and check out what Coach Cheryl Reeve had to say about this game. Well, you know what? Let's look at this right here. Let me just show y'all what happened, especially with Breanna Stewart. And I was trying to look for the play where Nafisa Collier, where they didn't call. I think it was like a clear pass foul they were supposed to call, and they didn't call it. I couldn't find that play, but let's check this out right here. This is Breanna Stewart towards the end, as you see, with 6 seconds remaining, 6.3 to be exact. Minnesota's up 60-58 in regulation, and here's Breanna Stewart with the ball. First of all, look at that. She traveled. She 100% traveled, and they didn't call it, nor did they even acknowledge it on commentary, which is their job to see things like that. They didn't even acknowledge this. She clearly traveled. Clearly traveled. Clearly traveled. And then let's find the one where she didn't get fouled, where they called the foul, but she clearly wasn't even fouled. I think this is it right here. Hold on. It's only like 4 seconds, but this is after she traveled. This was the next move she made. No foul. Look at that. So they said something about the defender wasn't in a, proper defensive stance or something. But this girl clearly wasn't fouled. Stewart clearly was not fouled by who was that? Smith, number 8. Smith. No foul right there. Just a bogus call. And now let's get to what Coach Reeve had to say about what happened to her team. This video footage that we're about to watch comes from Fox 9 in Minneapolis, St. Paul, right here. So this is the press conference after. You see the 2 players right there and the coach. I'm trying to move this so we can see the coach's face. Let's just have it on a screen like this. And let's play it like this.
I thought today was incredibly disappointing. The challenge, we have got to change our challenge rules, and the officials doing the game should have a third party, because that was not a foul. That call should have been reversed on that challenge. If we sent that clip in, well, first of all, Nafisa Collier, the number of times that she's held, et cetera, and there's nothing down that end, right? Which we, it's kind of, for whatever reason in the series, that was kind of the way it was.
Man. This, like I said, man, this thing was rigged for it. To me, it had all the eyeball tests. Like it looked like, look, man, this is tailor made for New York to win this thing. Again, Minnesota, they would have had to have blown New York out in order to walk away with that win, to leave no doubt in anyone's mind. But if it were gonna come down to the wire, which it did, I'm not surprised that this thing happened to them.
But when at the other end, when we challenged it, if we would have turned that clip in, they would have told us that it was marginal contact, no foul. Guaranteed. So when you review, those should be the same parameters that you're reviewing with. But the 3 people that are on the game need a third party to let them know, because that decided the game. I know all the headlines will be Reeve cries foul. Bring it on.
And we saw that with Stephen A. Smith. It was a headline where a video. We'll probably look at it. I don't know. Let me see. Where we're gonna finish this one out. There was a video of him, at least the title, him talking about Coach crying foul. So yeah, you knew it was coming, but again, she's not wrong.
Right? Bring it on. Because this shit was stolen from us. Bring it on.
Coach, when you make a comment like that, what do you say to your ladies on the team about how to process this?
Well, we talked about it, we know we could have done some things, right? But you shouldn't have to overcome to that extent. This shit ain't that hard. Officiating it's not that hard. When someone is being held, be consistent. If you don't want to hold it one, then don't call it the other. Be consistent. Every team asked for that, right? Sandy asked for that last game. So 3 of the games in the series, we're talking about the same damn thing, right? So I tell these guys, for whatever reason it didn't work out, right? It just doesn't feel right that you lose a series with that level of discrepancy, and we don't have a team that whines and complains and, all that stuff. And, sometimes it probably hurts us. Maybe being a little more, I don't know, something. But I just think that, you have a star player like Fee, I don't get it. I don't get how she can be held and go to the basket and get hit. And then a marginal, at best, sends their best player to the free throw line. That's tough. It's tough to swallow. Just like our 2016 championship that was lost. Officiating, missing a shot clock violation. This sucks. This is for a championship, right? For both teams. Let them decide it. What contact is legal should be the same for both teams. This isn't that hard. And so it's disappointing. Congratulations to the Liberty on their first championship. Been around, I don't know, how long has the league been around? 28 years? It took them 28 years. Congrats to them. We were that close to our 5th. Just didn't happen, right? It's disappointing. It's incredibly disappointing. But these guys, they got to try to pick themselves up and go, we were that damn close, and, it hurts. It hurt.
Definitely. And like she said, man, it was hard for me to really accept the Liberty as champions because, especially when you see how terrible Breanna Stewart and Sabrina were playing and had played. Sabrina was like 1 for 19 or something last time I checked. And it's tough, like she said, it's tough to just accept the loss and actually feel like, oh man, we just lost to the better team. It's hard to feel that way when you look at those videos I showed you and see that team was clearly robbed, and that call decided the championship. The championship was stolen from them. It was stolen from the Minnesota Lynx. You can talk about anything you want to talk about. To me, it doesn't matter. When you see that, something has to be done. The officials has to be investigated as the game grow larger and get more eyeballs. It has to. You have to, cleanse that, because I was telling. I was in Fly Hippie. He covers a lot of the WNBA, and he was talking. I was in the chat and I was talking about. We were talking about officiating. What were we talking about? And it seemed like every time, I'm watching a press conference of a close game, a game I saw, and I go and watch the press conference, it seemed like officiating was always a thing. I saw Asia Wilson do an interview before the 4th quarter of a game, after the 3rd quarter, talking about the officiating. So there definitely has to be something done about officiating. Someone has to look into it to make sure that this isn't a problem going forward, because like Coach Reeves said, this was for a freaking championship. It was for a championship, and it was stolen from them.
He was absolutely right.
It was stolen from them. But again, yeah, let's see. Let me just hear what Stephen A. had to say. I didn't see this. It did say he blasted the coach or something. So let's check this out real quick. I know we've been here for a little while. Let's see what he has to say.
That was not a foul. LeBron James was absolutely right. That was not a foul. I'm not disputing the veracity of her statement. I'm simply saying I don't give a damn. We don't want to hear.
All right, and I don't care to hear this because he know it wasn't a foul, and he doesn't care. So that ain't even worth watching for me. So let me know what you guys think about this. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Like I said, that was a tough one because, and I can't give it up to New York because of what I saw with my own two eyes towards the end of that fourth quarter and in overtime. It just felt like this is New York's championship. Go in there and make sure they win the championship. That's honestly what it felt like to me. But congratulations to Minnesota on a very successful season. Commissioner Cup champions and Liberty. Liberty had a successful season as well. I'm not knocking the players or anything like that. It just doesn't feel real because of what happened. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk soon. Peace.